Hello everyone, I am Mayank and I'm glad you can finally hear me.
And slightly loud. Oh, acha, this is your video. Okay, got it. Go
Comprises
ahead.
of me, myself and AI. And this is our
Too loud.
work,
That's
Decon.
good.
Decon is a multimedia AI notebook that can be used for deconstructing content of various types using AI and extracting knowledge out of them. It can be used for translation, it can be used for summarization, for fixing grammar, for writing code, and whatnot. Decon gives the user the power to design their own prompts and use it for whatever they find a need for. So by clicking AI complete, I triggered a LLM response and it provided me the summary for translation in English. English is Hindi written in English. The the tool is designed as a web app, and it has various components: the text node, audio node, video node, and coming soon is image node. By ensuring that also the tool does not have a backend, so by ensuring that it's just a web app, that makes it very portable and very easy to use. So we can use it on our phones, on our computers, and that this has a power to really democratize AI. So a person who may not be having a knowledge about how to host models, how to uh, put it on Hugging Face, how to run it locally, all of them can also use the power of AI without needing to have the bar to like to know about the AI models and the technicalities. Uh, the interface allows us to enter our keys. By default, it comes with it's preloaded with some credits. So once people start using it, they can try it out, and uh, when once they find some use out of it, then they can put their keys in. So this is the text node, and we got the translation. We can change, like, the power of this tool is, like, generally when we are interacting with ChatGPT, uh, we have the prompts are having two components. One is the content, and then we have the instruction. Both the content and instruction, it's fixed. Once we trigger it, it gets fixed. But this tool allows us to edit the instruction and the content as we go. So if we want to nudge the AI in a particular way, it allows us to do that. For example, I can change this to summarize, and that will give me the summary. We have the feature to pin a text tile, and that allows us to, even after refreshing the browser, it allows us to keep the content or keep the text through multiple sessions. We have the summary here, but let's suppose I want to uh, I want it pointwise. So there's another feature of this way of triggering LLMs is that it allows us to add another component to our prompts, which is the sample. So for example, I can put 1 point and then remove this, then 2, and then now the AI is very good to AI understands patterns, and yeah, patterns much better than the just a plain instruction. So now when I click AI complete, it should detect that we want it in a pointwise, and it will give us that in the pointwise. And we can save these patterns in prompts. So I have a few prompts already saved in, and for example, I can select this and run it through summarize prompt, and it should summarize it for us. So we don't need to do the prompt engineering every time. Once done, we can continue to use it. Another node on this tool is the audio node. So let me load some audio. I have already I had it ready in another session because it's demo. What can go wrong will go wrong. So once we have the audio node loaded, we can play the track, and we can, by clicking guess words, we can trigger a response from OpenAI's Whisper API. So we have the option to select the language for the input. Also, we have the option to directly generate the LRC and SRT subtitles. SRT subtitle is quite often used with movies and videos. So let's try that. And it generates the SRT subtitle. We can just download it and plug it into any subtitle editor and embed it into video if you want that, or upload it directly on YouTube. Once the once the text is there, we can also there's another prompt called Decon language that I developed that allows that deconstructs language and helps us understand what is being said. Like, for example, if I didn't understand Hindi, it would translate that to English and help me understand that. So while that happens, let's talk about the isolate audio component. Okay, the text is here, so we see how it's translating each of the word into English and also breaking the word into the letters and translating those letters into English as well. And this works with any language, so whether it's Malayalam, whether it's Arabic, it works with that. So isolate audio component basically breaks the audio into its components, the vocals, drums, bass, and others, and that can be useful for a lot of different use cases. One helpful use case is to remove any noise from what we are talking. For example, if we are in we record something in the university and there's a lot of noise going on, so we can isolate the vocals and everything, all the fan noise and everything gets pushed to others, and that helps us get clear vocals. We can also then run this vocal through Whisper ASR to get a better quality of transcription because there's no noise. Also in movies that helps. But my favorite feature out of this is to create karaoke tracks. So once we get the 4 components, we can play them together, and I hope you can hear that. And we can mute different sections so now the vocals are muted and it becomes a karaoke track, and we have the lyrics right here, so we can just sing along if you want. It can also be useful for guitarists and drummers, like they can focus on the guitar or focus on the drums and be able to play that. So that's most of the features. highlights for most of the features. We want to integrate image node for OCR features, for vision capabilities. We want to have live transcription. It allows us to record the audio, like I can record audio and like transcribe that. So we are planning to have live real-time recording sort of thing where as we talk it detects and gets the text. And the fun fact about Decon is that 90% of it is written via Decon. So what I would do is just put in some code here which is mostly written in Vue. And I didn't know any Vue 2 months back, and by using AI and specifically Decon, I was able to build something that works. So I would just paste the code here, paste some code sample here, and then change color to green for settings button. And I can give an instruction in Hindi, in Malayalam, in Kannada, whatever language I want. So yeah, so that's the demo. We are planning to release this within a month, but it's already available on beta. So if you want, you can scan this and test it out. Let us know. That's what I did. I would get the solution and then copy paste it, and it will work. If some bug is there, I'll put in the code and ask it to find the bug. So AI is pretty powerful, and I'm happy to see so many people finding ways to incorporate AI's power into our lives. I'm very excited to incorporate this tool to use what others have developed. For example, I'm in talks with the Index Subtitler team to get to integrate with their models. We can also work to integrate with the video explanation workflow. So yeah, sky's the limit. Well, thanks all for watching this demo. Open to questions.
Yeah.
When you came to the code demo part, you said that the code is generated through Decon, but could you clarify what is done by ChatGPT and what is done by Decon? What aspect of the code was generated by ChatGPT and what aspect was generated by Decon?
Well, not exactly ChatGPT. Basically, we use either GPT 3.5 or GPT 4. But basically, Decon is just an interface. So to use, rather than using ChatGPT, which is like a sort of a restricted way to interact with the AI with question and answer form, I used the Decon interface to interact with the GPT-4 APIs and like whatever feature I would have to develop, I'll just put some sample code in there and ask, like trigger the GPT-4 API via Decon to generate the code that I want, and then paste it, and it's pretty good. It works. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, so one question I have is primarily in cases like translation, right? Right now you're using Whisper APIs directly to translate from, let's say, Hindi to English?
No, first I'm using Whisper API to transcribe it in the native language, because if I select the language as something that is not the native, then the quality reduces. So I use the native language to transcribe and then use GPT-4 to translate it to different languages, because GPT-4 has a better capability in my experience to do the translations. And even there, like the famous languages, the often used languages have a better response than those languages that are not as often spoken.
Right. So even for Indic languages, right? Like an example of Hindi or other Indic languages as well, GPT-4's intrinsic translation capabilities are not at par, right? When we're looking at high resource languages. And that's especially becomes problematic when someone is not proficient in both the languages. So you have to kind of take whatever translation comes at the face value pretty much, right? The audience or your user does not have capability of understanding whether the translation was accurate or not. Or even in cases, let's say, where the translation is being provided, how can you make the use of user feedback in order to collect information about where the system is doing right? Either it could be for code examples or for translation, translation examples, to move towards the improvement of the model, right? Because right now you are taking the dependency on the third-party tools for either GPT-4 or Whisper or others. But how can you start collecting the feedback that would help you towards improving the model, and eventually also what kind of guarantees or confidence levels that you can provide to other users based on the translations, for example, which are being provided?
Yeah, that's a great question. Two aspects to it. One is that because this is a web app with API connectivity, that gives a lot of room to expand or onboard new models in a fast way. For example, in the Indic subtitler, the model that Korean and others have developed, we can add, we can just upload that model onto a GPU fleet and then enable an API connectivity to those models. And when if we want something in Malayalam, for example, then we can code that logic that if the language selected is Malayalam, then instead of ChatGPT, GPT-4 or the Whisper, the OpenAI's Whisper model, we trigger the model that is specialized for that particular language. And that specialization is not just for languages. For example, we may soon have a summarization specialization, or as we get more data, there will be more specialized models. So having an interface with API connectivity enables us to very quickly expand and onboard new functionalities and add them to bring that power to the user using the app on the phone. So that's one part. Another part is we do want to have a way to collect user feedback, but I'm thinking we don't have the feature right now, but I'm thinking of a way to reward the user. Like if the user gets some input and they correct the feedback, they can upload that in return for some credits that they can use for generating other models and something like that. But I don't have that workflow completely figured out, but we definitely want to have some way to collect data and contribute to the improvement of the models over time.
Thank you, Mayank. All the best.
Thank you. Thanks.